The First Ascent of Mont Blanc. Introduction. In the summer of 1786, two brave men, Dr. Michel-Gabriel Paccard and Jacques Balmat, decided to climb Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc is the highest mountain in the Alps. Before them, no one had reached the top. Many people thought it was impossible. The mountain had many dangers: deep snow, hidden cracks called crevasses, and very cold temperatures. Strong winds and sudden storms made it even more dangerous. But Dr. Paccard and Mr. Balmat were determined to succeed. At that time, Mont Blanc was a mystery. Some locals believed it was cursed or home to evil spirits. Scientists, however, were curious. A Swiss scientist named Horace Benedict de Saussure offered a reward to the first person who could reach the summit. This offer motivated many, including our two adventurers. The climbers Dr. Michel-Gabriel Paccard. Dr. Paccard was a 29-year-old doctor from Chamonix, France. He loved science and nature. He was especially interested in how high altitudes affect the human body. He was intelligent, calm, and very determined. For years, he prepared for this climb by studying maps and reading books about mountains. He believed that reaching the top of Mont Blanc would be a great scientific achievement. The climbers, Jacques Balmat. Jacques Balmat was a 24-year-old man who lived in the mountains. He worked as a guide and searched for crystals to sell. He was strong, experienced, and not afraid of danger. He knew the mountains very well and had survived many difficult situations. Unlike Dr. Paccard, Mr. Balmat was not interested in science. He wanted fame and the reward for reaching the summit. He dreamed of being known as the best climber in Chamonix. The journey begins. On August 7, 1786, early in the morning, Dr. Paccard and Mr. Balmat left Chamonix. They carried simple equipment: wooden walking sticks, warm woolen clothes, and some food. They did not have modern climbing tools like ropes or special boots. As they walked, the path changed from grassy fields to rocky slopes. The higher they went, the colder it became. By afternoon, they reached the Glacier des Bossons, a large river of ice. Crossing it was dangerous because of slippery ice and deep crevasses. Mr. Balmat used his experience to find a safe way across, testing the ice with his stick. Dr. Paccard followed carefully. After many hours, they crossed the glacier and found a small rocky area to rest. As the sun set, they prepared for a cold night without a tent, using only their clothes for warmth. The final ascent. On August 8th at sunrise, they continued their climb. The air became thin, making breathing difficult. Their bodies were tired, and each step was hard. The cold wind hurt their faces, and their legs felt heavy. The last part of the climb was the steepest and most challenging. The snow was deep, and the slope was very steep. Mr. Balmat led the way, carefully choosing each step. Dr. Paccard, though exhausted, kept going, driven by determination. Finally, after many hours, they reached the summit of Mont Blanc. They were the first people to stand on the highest point in Europe. The view was breathtaking. Endless mountains, clear blue sky, and snow everywhere. Dr. Paccard sat down to rest, feeling a great sense of achievement. Mr. Balmat walked around, taking in the view. They stayed for a short time, knowing they still had to climb down safely. The return to Chamonix. Descending the mountain was as dangerous as climbing up. They were very tired, and one wrong step could be fatal. The sun made the snow slippery, increasing the risk of falling. Slowly and carefully, they retraced their steps. Mr. Balmat supported Dr. Paccard when he was too weak to continue. They encouraged each other, knowing they had to stay strong to survive. After many hours, they crossed the glacier again, cautiously avoiding the crevasses. When they finally returned to Chamonix, The townspeople were amazed. They had achieved what many thought was impossible. Mr. Balmat became famous and received the promised reward. Later, he climbed Mont Blanc again with Horace Benedict de Saussure, the scientist who offered the prize. Dr. Paccard, though less celebrated, was proud of their accomplishment and continued his work as a doctor and scientist. Conclusion. The first ascent of Mont Blanc was a significant moment in history. It demonstrated human courage and determination. Today, thousands of people climb Mont Blanc every year, following the path of Dr. Paccard and Mr. Balmat. Modern climbers have better equipment, but